welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Appreciate your patience here this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and always happy to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And thank you so much for being a part of the show once again here. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and we are here with you Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both / Wake Up Call DT, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So a lot of great stuff coming up here on the show. You know that on Fridays we have our trio of signature segments that are here for you. And inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', we always start off, with the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Then we jump into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver is what the acronym stands for. It proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. And the top dog of the week will be announced at the top of the second hour, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And then you see the MLB, the NFL, the Syracuse, and the LeMoyne logos. And that means that, so after we have the top dog of the week this week, we are going to jump into a lot of different thoughts. So I'm excited that you and I are going to be able to talk about a lot of different things this morning. There's been a lot of stuff that's gone on, and thankfully, Wake Up Call has been very busy. We've had a ton of guests on, and I was sitting here saying, we could bring on somebody else on Friday, or we can just talk about a bunch of these things that are happening that maybe I want to talk a little bit more about. Major League Baseball being where they are right now, under 15 games to go. Some teams under 10 games to play. What happened last night with Shohei Ohtani is worth mentioning. How Arizona started off their series against the Brewers. And then get into Thursday Night Football and the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers and what's going on over there, as well as look at the fact that we got Friday Night Lights for Syracuse and Stanford making history, and then LeMoyne's having their Hall of Fame induction ceremony this weekend. So a lot of really awesome things going on in the community and around the country, and we're going to discuss them. So with that being said, thank you for being here with us and hanging out. It is time for the annoying moment of the week.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so. The annoying moment of the week, folks. Now, there are a lot of things that I could go to, but I'm gonna have to go here. And there's a lot of places to go, unfortunately, for this week. And I will say this because I need to say this. Loyalty does not always go both ways. And I think it's important to get the story and understand things. I just, to me, it's tough when you are a loyal person, when you're an honest person, when you're a caring person, when you put people before yourself, when you put your heart on your sleeve. It's hard when it looks like people treat you like an afterthought, like I'll get to it when I feel like it. And when people go Hollywood, when they forget who was there for them in the beginning, when they forget who was there for them when people weren't calling, when people weren't texting, when people didn't care what you had going on. And sometimes people forget that. Sometimes people kind of push it to the wayside and just forget that you were there. Or maybe they remember you're there, but they think, oh, there's somebody more important here now. And they perceive you as less important. They perceive you as not something that matters as much. And I have felt that on multiple occasions. Now, sometimes you you talk to that person or you see that person and you find out that's not the case. And then you're like, okay. And then you feel better, hopefully. And other times you feel like it was the case. And it's a hard thing to stomach. So, I think that we all kind of go through that. Oh, I thought that was my friend. Oh, I thought that was somebody I could rely on. Oh, I thought that was somebody that really valued me. Oh, I thought that was somebody that would do whatever it takes. And see, that's the thing. And my mom and my dad, they raised me. They raised me to not ask from people what I won't give. And so if I will go the extra mile. I will. It's who I am. I think back on things, and I remember the last person that I dated, she had a crazy work schedule, and, I have a work schedule that's very busy too, but I have the opportunity that I can ad-lib with certain things. And, if I'm doing my show, I can do my show from different places. As you know, we've done this show from all over the country. We've done the show from outside of the country. And so I have the ability to take my show on the road, so to speak. And so I was like, okay, well, she's got a busy schedule, and if I can, I want to see her, she wants to see me. She's got a tough thing that, a schedule that's not really easy for her to navigate through, then I'll just go to her. And we'll figure it out, and I'll spend time with her, and I'll make my life, I'll change things that I need to change, and maybe, make things a little more difficult for myself and make a little sacrifice because, she'd do it for me. And then you find out that they won't. And sometimes you find out that they will. So, I mean, I've been in those situations, and I've been in situations where, I don't really care what I do with a friend. I want to hang out with you. I want to spend some good time together. And some people that I was friends with, it was like, I want to do what's cool right now. I want to do what's fun right now. I want to do what's hip right now. I want to make sure, good morning to everybody out there. I want to make sure that, I'm seen or I'm heard, or, I do something that benefits me in this way or in that way. And I just wasn't seeing things like that. I wasn't seeing like, oh, we got to go to this place so that you can look cool, and we got to do this, so we got to hang out with this person so that we go to school on Monday, everybody's going to like you more. I was like, hey, let's just hang out. Well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't care, because I care more about the people, and I think what I've realized over time, and I'm hoping that recent stuff isn't that way, but, what I've realized over time is that I have given a lot of loyalty to a lot of people that don't deserve it. And you don't really know whether or not that loyalty is going to be reciprocated until you give your loyalty, and then you see what happens. And, I feel like we live in a world, and I've been treated this way before, where a person can sit across from you and say, I've already gotten everything I've needed to get from you. I'm going on to greener pastures, bigger and better things. You're not big enough for me. I've taken everything I possibly could from you. I'm like a leech. I've been on your back. I've taken all this blood, and now I'm going to go somewhere else because I got everything I needed. And when you sit at a table with someone who you work with professionally and you consider a friend, and they talk to you like, I don't need you anymore. I'm too big for you. You're just this little thing, and I'm a big thing. No matter what that person's ever said to me, that's the thing that I remember. And then you carry on in your life and you say, okay, so I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to burn that bridge. I'm not going to disrespect that person, but I'm absolutely not going to spend my time with that person because time is precious. And I'm going to go spend my time over here. And then you meet other people, and then you get close to people. And then you say to yourself, wow, there's a lot of opportunistic people in the world today. And maybe there always was, and maybe we just see it more. Or maybe there's more people focused on how can I get this and get this and get this because there's so many things to get. because this world has so much stuff now. But I just find it funny how people can't make time for people that have tried to make time for them for weeks and months. But they can make time for somebody that you thought this person barely knew. And you think to yourself, well, maybe they think that that person's more important than you. And if you treat somebody like they're better than me and they're more important than me, oh, you're going to find out real quick. And I don't think anybody's above anybody. I really don't. I don't think anybody's above anybody else. I think presidents that think that way lose the respect of the people. I think that Congress people that think they're bigger and better than the people they represent, I think that's a recipe for failure. I think that business owners that see themselves on a mountain above their employees, I think that they absolutely probably don't have the respect of the people that work for them. You know, my parents raised me that you treat everybody the same. That if you see a man dressed in a suit and you see a man in sweatpants, you treat them the same, because appearances can be deceiving. And there's a lot of truth to that. You know, that man wearing a suit might be trying to, you know, he might have spent all of his money he had left on that suit to try and look a certain way, to try and mask something in him. And the person in sweatpants owns 3 businesses. And they wore sweatpants because they felt like it. You know, my parents always taught me to treat everybody the same. And I'll never forget when I was on the plane and I was in first class and I was wearing checkered shorts and my Darkwing Duck t-shirt. And at the time I only had one. Now I have more than one. So I wanted to say that because I love Darkwing Duck. And so I was I'm in like the second row of first class. And you see guys in suits and this and that. And I sat down, and it wasn't anybody specifically, but it was that feeling of they probably don't think I belong here. Like, how did this dude infiltrate us? He's wearing a cartoon across his chest. And, you know, we're here in suits. We're taking this seriously. We are professionals. Jermaine said, "You ready for tonight?" Yes, definitely. And so when you are out there, you know, and you're sitting in first class, I feel like there's still that thought of like, you got to look a certain way, you got to act a certain way, you got to act like you don't have time for anything, and you got to look, you know, have that stone face or that pissed off face, and you got to have the suit on, and the woman's got to have the pantsuit, and everybody's got to be serious, and they just can't even. And I showed up, and I'm smiling, I got my Darkwing Duck shirt on. They don't know that I own a business. They don't know that I love what I do and I do what I love. They don't know that I get to travel the country. They don't know how much money I make. They don't know the people that I get to talk to. They don't know how small my world is in a lot of ways, in a lot of great ways. They just saw a man with a Darkwing Duck shirt on and shorts. Why is this guy in first class? You never know who you're talking to. You don't. And that hit me recently because I was out at a business and I saw this guy coming up, and I've always been like taught, if you see somebody come and hold the door. And to this day, when somebody lets a door go in front of my face, I'm like, that person, like, I automatically think you're a selfish person. I'm automatically thinking like, ew, like you couldn't hold the door for a second. And granted, there's going to be times where, you know, that person's rushing, something's on their mind, this and that. So I don't want to judge it. So then I have to pull myself back because I'm not one who wants to judge people. I don't like when people don't hold doors open for other people. Not just me, it's anybody. And so I held the door open for this gentleman who was wearing a suit, and the weather was kind of blah that day. And he wasn't like right there. He was coming from a little bit far away, and I waited, and he was like, "Oh, thank you." And I said, "Yeah, of course." And then I end up finding out that he's the general manager of the business. And he comes around and he puts his hand out to shake my hand and talk to me. And I was like, there's a huge example right there. I saw somebody coming. I held the door. I would have held it for anybody. I thought that he was a salesman for the company. Turns out he's the general manager. And if I had known he was the GM, that's not why I would have held the door open. So I would have held the door open for anybody. I remember there was a gentleman a couple days ago, and just a sweet guy, and he came in to Utica Pizza, and I love Phil over there. Phil does a great job, and this man comes in, and Phil had said, he's like, I come in here a lot, and he goes, I know, I see you all the time. Phil was talking to him, and guy was wearing a number one dad shirt, which I thought was really cool. And when he was leaving, he goes, sorry, I'm so slow. And I was like, sir, take your time. And it made me think a couple things. When I held the door open for the gentleman and he walked through and he apologized for being slow, I thought to myself, no, you're reminding me to slow down and appreciate my life. See, some people see somebody walking slow and are like, oh my gosh. Oh, and I've been there. When I'm driving and I feel like I need to be somewhere, why are these people, are they purposely driving slow so I can't get there? And it's like, no, Dan, they don't even know you. But we take things personally so many times. That man, when he was walking slowly and he apologized for it, I wasn't thinking, oh my goodness, I got to get here, I got to get there, I got to do this, I got to do that. I was thinking, this man is making me slow down. This man is making me think and appreciate and feel. This is a man of God, whether he knows it or not. And so, on the annoying moment of the week, we always talk about stuff and serious stuff, and we joke around and spin things to a positive. And the positive for me is that I've realized something in life that I can't believe I wasn't saying to myself before. But see, this is the thing about life, is we have to learn things. You got to go through stuff that's tough because you have to learn. And it sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks. It really honestly does. But you have to learn. We have to learn. I had to learn this thing, many things. And the thing I'm about to tell you, I had to learn. And that thing is, when you give your all and somebody does you dirty, you have no reason to hang your head. They do. They have a reason to sit there and not necessarily hang their head, because I would never wish that on anybody. But they have a reason to sit and ponder. When you take advantage of a good soul, you got some splaining to do. And you might not think you have to. And you might not explain yourself to that person. But eventually, you will have to explain yourself to yourself or to somebody, because you can't do it forever. I tell people that all the time. If you do someone dirty in business, and you do someone dirty in business, and you do someone dirty in business, and you do someone dirty in business, you're going to run out of people. Makes me think of the Music Man, right? You keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Eventually, the music catches up to you. And what are you going to do when the music stops? And everybody's looking at you. See, if you treat people well, you don't have to worry about seeing somebody again. When you do somebody dirty in personal life or professional life, if you bump into that person in public, if you have any type of a soul or a conscience, which we all have a soul, so I would hope that you can hear your soul, you're like, what do I do? Because no matter how old you get, you can't outrun the fact that if you do someone dirty and you bump into that person again, you feel that. I don't feel that because I didn't do them dirty. And when you give so much of yourself to people, I've always gotten mad at myself. Why did you love that person? Why did you work with that business? Why did you try to help that person? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why did you give them another chance? And I was beating up on my trying to be like God, trying to do what God would do. I am nowhere near God, but I can try to emulate God in how I love and giving people chances. I mean, God's given me more chances I can count, so I try to give people chances. And so when I go out into life, I was beating up on myself for saying, you're helping all these people that aren't helping you. You're loyal to these people that aren't loyal to you. You look at you. Look at you. And I was calling myself names and bringing myself down. And then I learned something, finally, recently, is that the way that I love people does not need to be disrespected if they don't love me back. The way that I give is not a bad thing if they don't give back. I don't have anything to feel sorry for. If I go full tilt and I give everything I possibly can in my life, and I try to help people and I love people, and when I have so many people break my trust, yet I still try to trust people. If I give my all, even though I know what's happened the last time I did it, if I can find a way to love and give and try and trust and believe after everything I've been through, then I don't owe myself an apology. I owe myself a thank you that I fought through it. How many people stop trusting, stop loving, slam their door, stay negative, stay depressed, stay closed-minded because someone did them wrong? If I can go through everything I've gone through in my life and still want to see the best in people, I'm winning. I'm winning. And I have now flipped the script that it's not shame on me for loving you, shame on me for being loyal to you, shame on me for trusting you, shame on you for taking a person's trust and loyalty and love and disrespecting it. I finally flipped the script. So now I don't feel bad for myself when someone does me dirty. I pray for them because there's something wrong when somebody can do hurtful things, especially to someone who they know is trying and giving you an opportunity and giving you a chance and trying to see the best in you and trying to just see you become something great. I'm not about, I just want to be great. I'm about, I want to see you be great. I like when people do great things. And the thing that I felt in my life that I'm kind of thinking about today is like one of the people I was most loyal to doesn't have any time for me. Doesn't even have a minute. But they have time for other people in things that they used to do with me and we used to celebrate, and I used to be at the top of the heap. I don't know where I am right now because the optics of it aren't good. Now, I don't have the full story, so I can't speak on it. But what I can say is it doesn't look good. And I said to myself, for one of the first things I thought was, man, I've shown my emotion and I've cried and I've shown love for that person. I respect that person like family. Why would somebody do that? And then I thought to myself, something that my dad told me a long time ago, and it really sucks to hear it, but it's true. He said, son, they ain't all like you. They ain't all like you. You look at things through the eyes of how could somebody do that? Because you're supposed to care. How could somebody do that? Because you got to live by the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. How could somebody do that? Because you were there for them when they were fighting battles. How could somebody make you second rate, third rate, 10th rate when you've always treated them as first? And I call my mom and I call my dad and I would say to them, why did this happen? Why did that happen? How can this happen? How can that happen? And my mom and my dad echoed those sentiments. Son, not everybody is like you. They're not going to love like you. They're not going to give like you. And again, I'm not a perfect person. There are people better than me. I can name them. First one, my G-mama. You know? I was thinking about last night. I love my mom and dad, and I got to see them both yesterday, and I'm so grateful that they're here. And I was driving home last night thinking, man, I could be a way better son. I could be a way better son to my mom and dad. I've said some things in my past. I've acted a certain way. I've talked to them in a way that I don't appreciate. And they still love me. I've been a fool. And they still love me. You know, my dog, Lily, my kid, girl loves me more than I deserve. Sometimes I'm like, man, I am I need to be a better dad. Like, I need to be a better dad. And, you know, I look at my life, man, and I feel like when somebody just kind of leaves you out there, that, I mean, you thought like they're riding with you. And I just want you to know this morning that, like, when you find out that that family member or that girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife or fiance, or I said family member, friend, coworker, partner in business and whatever, when you find out that that person doesn't have you like you have them, stop beating up on yourself, because it says nothing about you and it says everything about them. Like, if you got somebody, listen, let me tell you something. It is 2024. This world's got a lot of things that need to change. And when I talk to people about, I'm thinking about running for president someday, I've been saying that since I was like 8. It doesn't leave my mind. And I wouldn't do it for the accolades. I most certainly wouldn't do it for all of the BS that comes with it. And I'm sure the media wouldn't be a fan of me because the media doesn't like me now. Apparently, believing in God, being honest, and building relationships is something that people don't like. And the anti-God in the media, that's definitely going to buck. I'm going to buck that system because I believe in God. Well, you can't push your beliefs. No, you can't push your beliefs on anybody. But when I tell you I believe in God and I love God, how is that pushing my belief on you? I'm speaking my mind and my heart. How dare you tell me what to think? There's a lot of hypocrisy in today's America. They want to tell you what to think and tell you what to do, but if you do anything other than what they want you to do, if you say what they don't want you to say, oh, they will chastise you and berate you and bury you. But you can't do that to them. You realize that some of the most vile, evil, negative, hateful, ungodly people that are out there, they want you to be sweet to them. They want you to handle them with kid gloves, and they want to shoot a bazooka from point blank range in your face. There's something wrong with a person that thinks that way. And my point to get to today, and it's going to lead right into lead, as the annoying moment always happens to do. And I promise you, I don't set it up for them to do this. I real talk. I get on the air. I don't know what I'm going to say. I speak exactly what I'm thinking and feeling in the moment. And the annoying moment of the week and lead always end up connecting with each other. And I blame God for that wholeheartedly, because he always has a message. And I would like to hope he's sent messages through me before. I'm hoping that my soul is clean enough that he can send more through again. I want you to know today, when your friends, family, coworkers, colleagues, romantic, when you give your all in a relationship and you don't get a neighbors and you don't get it back, don't be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't say, oh, well, I shouldn't have loved them. Oh, well, I shouldn't have given them a chance. Oh, well, I'm too gullible. I'm too this. I'm too that. Learn from your mistakes, but don't ever chastise yourself for being a loving, caring, trusting, loyal person, because even the worst acting human beings, remember what I said, worst acting, because I don't think anybody's bad innately. I don't think you're born bad. Anyone who chooses to be bad, they still want to be loved. They still want to be trusted. Think about it. Sharks in the water, right? People that bad business people that are looking to just get a quick one from you and take your money and do this and that, they want you to trust them so that they can take your money. They want you to be loyal to them so that they can take your money. They want you to love them so that you could feel comfortable and they can take your money. Even the worst acting people out there want love and trust and respect. We all want the same things. Even the worst acting people on the planet rely on love and trust and care. Because when they goof up, when they do something wrong, when something doesn't smell right, when something doesn't seem right, the only way that you'll look beyond it is if you love them, if you care about them, if you respect them, if you're loyal to them. You'll give them another chance. There's not a person on the planet that doesn't want love, loyalty, respect, care, trust. It doesn't mean they all use it right. It doesn't mean that they're not using it to take advantage of you, but everybody wants it. The good acting people want it, and the bad acting people want it. But when you love and you care and you give loyalty and you trust and you don't get it back, I want you to know I've been there. I want you to know that it's not your problem to fix. If you can find a way in this crazy dark world to be a light, if you can find a way to love after you haven't been loved, to trust after your trust was broken, to be loyal when you feel like you haven't had loyalty, to care when you feel like you weren't cared for. If you can find a way to love and care and trust and be loyal through everything you've been through, you're the winner in life. You're the strong one. You're the courageous one. Stop seeing yourself as weak and stop seeing yourself as you don't matter. If somebody treats you like you're not important, that doesn't mean you're not important. See, as human beings, we live in a world where if one person says you ain't anything, you're not important, I'm done with you. I'm on to the next level. You're on this level, and I need to go to the next level. I need to go higher than you, better than you. I need to find people better than you. Let that person go do that stuff. They're going to learn. Everybody learns. And if you push away a loyal, trusting, caring, loving human being, the shame is not on that person. The shame is on you. And that's not me wishing it. That's you doing it. I tell people this all the time. I never wish bad on somebody. When I say, don't do that, it's going to come back and get you. Don't treat people that way, it's going to come back and get you. That's not me saying, oh, I can't wait for it to come back and get you, and I wish bad on you. That's me saying you get what you give. So people are only offended when I go, well, if you throw that out there, it's going to come back. Better watch out for karma. When they go, how dare you, Dan? That's a guilty conscience. Because if somebody's doing good things in the world, when they're excited for karma to come back. I put good in, I'm going to get good out. The only people that hear a message of watch what you put out there because it's going to come back to you, they get offended, are the people that know that they're spitting into the wind. Why would you be offended by you get what you give? Unless you're giving bad things. It's as simple as that. We need to take the onus off of ourselves when we're loving and we're caring and we're giving and we're beating up on ourselves for being that way. Take the onus off of you and leave it where it is. If your loyalty is not reciprocated, It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean you need to fix yourself. It means that you were loyal to someone that wasn't loyal to you. And I promise you, if you are doing things with a pure heart and good intentions, you will eventually not miss them. They will miss you. I am so sick and tired of the people that quote unquote go Hollywood, right? They're with you, then they think they're in better circles. They think that they got more money around them and got more this around them and more prestige and more and more and more and more, and I don't need, and they forget those days in the sweatpants when they were sitting on a street corner telling you about their dreams and aspirations, because now they're wearing a suit and they're at a rooftop party. Let me tell you something. The only people I want to hang with on a rooftop party are the people that hung with me when I was wearing sweatpants, sitting on a curb talking about my dreams. We'll take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. This has been the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942. And tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Rd in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Perfect timing. Hearing those words from Jimmer Sikowski, the owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, and jumping into our segment, Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver is what the acronym stands for. And God helped me create this back in December of 2019. Why did this come to mind? Why was Lead something I was like, I need to create a segment. I want to do something with Chick-fil-A and with Jimmer. And it's got to be a segment that has an acronym. So the word itself has to be a word that I think is good to see. Lead, right? A positive word, a word that calls us to something that is good and positive. And then each of those letters has to share a message, right? It's all got to make sense. It's all got to come together. And God helped me find this one, as he's helped me find everyone. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. Today's topic on lead: when they don't agree with you. Man, do we live in a society right now where people don't agree with each other, right? People are happy to tell you they don't agree with you. They don't see it the way you see it, right? They disagree and they have these thoughts and they want you to know them. But they don't necessarily want to hear your thoughts, right? When someone disagrees with you, they don't necessarily, in today's society, really want to hear what you have to say. They might just want to argue. They might just want to say things that they feel and that they think. But do they really want to hear what you think? Do they really want to hear what you have to say? We live in a society where they focus on, well, this person interrupts people. You interrupted them too. Well, this person only wants to hear their side. Well, I feel like you've been screaming your side for a while now too. So what do you do when people don't agree with you? How do you handle the situation? Because I've been challenged with this. So I'm going to give you an example. So I had a friend, and it hurts my gut to say had every time I say it, but unfortunately, he was not a good friend. And I still love him. I still care about him. But again, loyalty, respect, love. Mine was there. Unfortunately, his was not. And I treated him like a brother. And I still miss him. But again, if I saw him out in public, nothing inside of me is like, oh, what do I do? DEFCON 5. Maybe inside of him, it's like, what do I do? But to me, it's like, I gave everything I could to this friendship. I didn't like being lied to. I didn't like the double standards and the hypocrisy. I didn't like the disrespect and the constant questioning of me. And I didn't like the fact that he couldn't take what he gave. And at the end of our friendship, the last time I saw him, he lied to my face. And after 12 years of being somebody's friend, I don't think you should be lying to each other's faces. So, and see, I can't have disloyal people. I can't. I pray for you. I still love the kid. I do. I genuinely love him. I'd probably have a good time with him if I saw him today. But I can't keep you in my circle. Do you know how hard it is to live a life where you're trying to act as God would act? Do you know how hard that is? To love people that don't love you? To see someone who you haven't seen in forever, who you thought was like going to be by your side always, and to be the bigger person? Do you know how hard it is to walk into a funeral with family members that don't care about you and then hug them and give them a kiss on the cheek and ask them how they're doing and ask them about their life, and for them to stand there because they don't really genuinely care about anything that's going on in your life? Even if they ask you, they've been absent for so long that if they're asking you, it's more of just in passing, how's your day? Don't really care to know the answer. Do you know how hard it is to go up to a person like that and go, you have no respect for me, no loyalty to me, no love for me, but I just wanted to give you a hug and a kiss and let you know that I hope the best for you, even though you couldn't care less about me. It's not an easy thing to do, but when you do it all your life, it does become easier. It does, because if you're genuine about it, it does become easier. I want to see everybody win. As long as you're not hurting someone, as long as you're not doing a bad thing, I want to see you win. If you're doing things with morals and values and God, you know, if you're believing in God and you're giving your all and you're working your tail off, yeah, I want to see you succeed. Well, Dan, what if I don't believe in God? I still want to see you do well. But I'm always going to hope that you believe in God because God believes in you. And I wouldn't be anywhere without God. I know where I would be. I'd be dead. Let's be real. I'd be dead. I would be dead. God took me out of black holes that I couldn't see a way out. So when you love the way I do, you hurt a different way. And God took me out of those places, man. He took me out of those places. I've seen God in everything. I have seen God in everything. There is no part of my life. That's why when I'm like, because I'm single, when I'm dating and I talk about God and I see a woman's body language change, I'm like, here we go. You know, she don't like that I believe in God, but I can't censor myself. I mean, I could. I would not like myself if I did that, but I can't, and I love myself, and it took me a long time to get there. I can't censor God. Like, I can't. It's God's everything that I do. He's everything I live for. He's everything I am. Literally everything. There's nothing in my life where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to put God over here, but I'm going to keep God on. No, if I do something in my life, this is how I look at my life. If I can't hold God's hand while I'm doing it, I shouldn't do it. That would change a lot of people's conversations. If you're swearing and screaming at somebody, but you're holding on to God's hand while you're doing it, if you're calling someone a BITC or a, SHI and, so on and so forth, and you're holding God's hand while you're doing it, I would like to hope that the soul inside of you would go, this doesn't feel right. We become desensitized as a society, but you know what sensitizes you again? if that's a word. I mean, desensitize is a word. Is sensitize a word? I don't know. Maybe we're going to make it one. But if you can de it, then you could probably sensitize it. I want to bring senses back to people. I want to bring back oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably think about stuff before I just spew from the mouth, right? I've learned in life, even in the last segment, I had something on my mind last night. I woke up with it this morning. I said to myself today, I don't know if I'm going to talk about it on the show. And I was vague. And I was like, I'm going to talk about it because it bothers me, but I don't know the whole story, and this could be nothing. So I need to do this in such a way that when I go back and listen to the show an hour from now, 10 years from now, I'm not disappointed in myself. What if we all thought that way? What if we all thought I should think before I speak? I should wait. I should take a beat. I should take a step back. My friend that I was talking about, we were friends for 12 years and now we're not friends anymore. We don't even know each other anymore. I took a step back and he called me twice. Never texted me, never left me a message. I don't think he texted me. Called me twice. And I wasn't ready to talk. I, for once in my life, was taking a beat. And then I never heard from him again. In his mind, he could say, well, I tried. I called twice. Yeah, but nobody knows why you were calling. Were you calling to apologize? Were you calling to yell at me? Were you calling to put me in my place? Were you calling to see how I was doing? So I think that there's that element of thinking before we speak. Because when people don't agree with you, what do you do? Because in today's society, it's considered normal now that if someone doesn't agree with you, you just cry and you just scream like a lunatic. I mean, you see videos of these people, they look like psychopaths. If you don't agree with them, so what is wrong with you? You know? They start crying and then all of a sudden they flip into screaming in your face and you're like, wow, schizophrenia. Wow. Like, that's a lot to take in. You're crying hysterically and now you're pointing your finger in my face and like yelling at me so hard you're spitting. Like, this is a diabolical human being to be a victim and a perpetrator at the same time. By the way, folks, when you are around people that are the victim and the criminal, get away from those people. Okay? We didn't have words for things back in the day. When I was growing up, there was no gaslighting. There was, but there was no words, right? We called it projection. Projection, right? You know, when someone projected on somebody, when they did something wrong, but then they took the exact thing that they did wrong and they said, you did it. Like, they cheated on you and you're like, well, you probably cheated on me first. Like, they did that stuff. And it was like, I'm not going to yell at myself, but I'm mad about what I did, so I'm going to pretend like they did it so I can yell at them so that I don't have to yell at me. Gaslighting, making somebody feel bad, like doing something bad to somebody, which kind of goes with projection, doing something bad to someone and then like trying to tell them that it was okay and that it's not a bad thing and how dare you be mad at me, like I should be mad at you that you're mad at me. I had a woman hit me and then she wanted me to apologize to her because of my reaction of being hurt by it. That's gaslighting. But when it happened to me, there was no word for that. And yes, men, we can be abused by women. And women that paint the picture that we can't be, shame on you. Because men and women get abused, and there's not a single person on this planet that should ever be abused. Mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, economically, sexually, there's no place for abuse in this world. And I'm appalled by the fact that women would exclude men from their movement against abuse and that men would exclude women from their movement against abuse. How can you tell someone that their pain is not as important as yours because of their sexuality, because of their gender, because of their race, because of their money? Because, I mean, you can't have a movement and tell certain people that they're not allowed to be there if you've all been through it. And I will still say to this day, #men too. #men too. Because how dare somebody tell us that men can't be abused? And when Johnny Depp had that case that a lot of us saw, when he won, I felt vindicated from something that had happened to me 15 years ago at the time. I was like, wow, Johnny Depp is this larger-than-life character to so many people, but him and I went through something that we were both kind of told, you're a man. No one's going to believe you. You're a man. What are you going to do about it? If you say that you've been abused, they're going to perceive you as weak. So I'm going to keep abusing you, and you're going to keep not saying anything, because if you say something, you're going to be weak. So you're going to lose both ways. I've already abused you, and you can't talk about it because men can't be weak. And I'm so sick and tired of men in America being treated so poorly lately, because I love women, and I have, I've spent my life wanting to see men and women be equal. So any man or woman that is not respecting the other gender, like, come on, guys. Come on. If there's a bunch of women that are standing up against abuse, I should be able to stand with you. Just as much as I'd let you stand with me. This stuff's got to go both ways. It's got to go both ways. And I just feel like we need to take that time to really reflect on how we handle things and how we are when people disagree with us. What do you do when people disagree with you? How do you handle people disagreeing with you? Do you try to shut them up? Do you yell at them? Do you gaslight them? Do you project on them? Do you ignore them? What do you do? Yeah, Jerry said real men don't hit. Curtis, I got something coming up. I promised you 10 o'clock, and it's going to be a little bit later than 10 o'clock. It's probably going to be like 10:30. But Curtis, if you're still watching and listening at 10:30, I implore you to be there because it's very important that you hear it at 10:30. I just ask people because see, there's a lot of people that don't know, like you don't know what people have been through. You don't know what people have been through. Like Jerry and I were on Marywood's campus at the same time for years. Does Jerry know that I had a girlfriend that was abusive? He didn't know that. Did he know that she was verbally abusive and physically abusive? You know, they say real men don't hit. Real women don't hit. Real women don't hit. There's never a place in a relationship for a man or a woman to put their hands on somebody. And I've been in situations high octane with women where like you feel like they want you to fight with them. And you're like, why would somebody want that? Why would somebody want you to hit them and want you to yell at them? And, oh, Jerry said I didn't like her. I never knew that, Jer. Well, your gut wasn't wrong, Jer. Your gut was not wrong. And just so you know, 15 years after she did what she did to me, Jerry, 15 years after, she talked to me on the phone and she told me she didn't even remember it. And that she was disappointed that that's what my mom remembered about her. So, 15 years later, somebody's still... It must be nice to, like, abuse people and just carry on with your life like it didn't happen. But I guess that's how you live with yourself. Because if you actually thought about what you did, it'd probably be difficult. Yeah, I feel bad for things. If someone goes, what are the mistakes you made in your life? I can go right back to rooms I was in and go, wow, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. So, what do you do when people disagree with you? To get back to the point here. How do you handle it? Because we are, yeah, Jerry. She didn't even remember it. So, it's amazing how the worst things that have been done to me in relationships with women, when I talk to them about it, they're like, oh, I don't even remember doing that. I don't remember saying that. So I just want to make a point here today, and I don't care if it's unpopular because it's true. Men are not the problem and women are not the problem. Individuals are the problem. But when we get together and we group together as a battle of the sexes and we put men on one side and women on the other side, you're only going to create more problems. You're only going to create more problems. So please don't make this a men versus woman thing, because I felt that all my life. I felt the man versus woman thing all my life, and I don't understand it because I don't think that a man is better than a woman, and I don't think a woman is better than a man. I think that how you treat people shows who you are. And I've met some women that hide behind the veil of, oh, well, women need to have this and that, and men are bad, and men are pigs, and da-da-da. And then I've met some women where I'm like, you're a lot worse than what I've seen a man do. And then I've seen some men going, oh, well, this is why women say what they say about men, because look at what you're doing. So I don't see people as groups. I see people as individuals. And there's individuals that are not helping the greater society. But I don't think all women are bad, and I don't think all men are bad. I think that, I can only speak to my experience of dating women because I'm a heterosexual male. I can only speak on dating women. But it's not like I have a blind eye to men. And I mean, I grew up seeing how some men treated women, and I was like, I have to do better. Like, I have to be different than this because women have to know there's good men out there. And now I'm 38 years old and I'm seeing the opposite. I'm going, wow, look at the way that women treat men. Like, I grew up as a little kid thinking that men treated women poorly. And now as a man, I'm seeing women treat me poorly as a grown man. And I'm just going, holy junk. Like, it's on both sides. But why? Why can't men and women, you know, why can't we live together and figure things out? They said years and years ago, the divorce rate, it was like 50-50. It was like roll a dice. Are you going to stay married or get divorced? It's got to be worse now because people are more fickle. They don't deal with problems. If they disagree, they'll break up if they have like one disagreement. Y'all need to start realizing some stuff here, man. Like, if you find a person that's going to ride with you, again, let's go back to the annoying moment of the week. If they're loyal to you and they care about you and they love you and they trust you, if you have a bond, don't let a little fight break the bigger picture. Let me tell you something. Not everybody's going to agree with you. My best friends, the guys I consider my brothers, my best, my absolute best, we don't agree on everything. We don't. And it makes me a better person. I hope it makes them a better person, but it makes me a better person. The fact that I can learn from them, and I hope that they can learn from me. Because we don't agree on everything, but we talk about stuff. And it doesn't change us. My buddy Isaac, who does Tortora and Alfred with me, we will have these long discussions where he is talking about this side and I'm talking about this side, and we're talking about, he's like, I'm here, and I'm like, I'm here. And then we laugh during it. We ask each other questions. We break things down, and then we go get pizza. Like, why can't Congress do that? Why can't Trump and Harris do that? Right? Why can't Ukraine and Russia stop the nonsense and be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, why can't people just get along? That's a question that's been asked forever, but I mean, let's be real about it. Why can't we all just get along? You know, what's really worth fighting over? And, you know, I've been in fights that go on for days, and some of them in the marriage that I was in, years. 2 years of, can you please support me when your mom is abusive and your sister is abusive? Can you please tell your sister to pick up her clothes in the house and stop leaving everything a mess? Can you please tell your mom to stop saying things under her breath about every single thing that I do? Can you please be my partner? Can you please stick up for me? Can you please be there for me? I would be there for you. I was there for you. When my dad said this to you, I was there. When your mom said that to me, you hung me out to dry and you left me there. Can we please just be a team? Can we please just be a team? You know what happened after 2 years of asking her that? She was pissed off that I kept talking about it. And I said, if you want me to stop talking about it, then you have to do something about it. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't exist. I'm not a person that sees a fire in a room and just walks out of the room and goes, well, I'll go in the other room. Because then the fire comes to another room, and then the fire comes to another room. Before I know it, I run out of rooms, and the house burns down. That's how I see life. If you have a problem, it will only persist. It doesn't go away. Oh, I got a rash. I'm just going to look at it, hope that it goes away. No, I have to get some ointment. I got to call the doctor. I got to say, Doc, I got a rash. And then the doc says, okay, monitor it for a couple days. And then you call him up and say, Doc, I got a rash, now I got a fever. Doc says, come in. Doc says, oh, good thing you came in. This is da-da-da-da-da. You need to take this. You need to do that. But if you just sit there and look at the rash, that almost never works. You know, what was the life expectancy of a caveman? 11 days? I mean, like, you know what? I mean, I mean, I was literally married to a woman who believed that the way you deal with problems is if you see a fire in one room, no matter who started it, you just go into the next room. And when the fire follows you, you go into the next room. And when the fire follows you, you go into the next room. And when the whole house burns down, you sit in the rubble and you look at your phone. And you act like you don't know what happened. Like, I don't understand how people deal with problems. And I didn't bring that up today to, like, bring her down. I brought it up today to tell the truth. I mean, we had that conversation. She said the difference between you and I is you deal with problems head on and I sweep them under the rug. We just have two different ways of dealing with life. I said, no. We don't have two different ways of dealing with life. I deal with life and you don't. There's not two different ways of dealing with life. Pushing things under a rug is not dealing with life. Your way of dealing with life is not dealing with it. My way of dealing with life is dealing with it. It's not two different ways of getting to the same conclusion. It's you're over here and I'm over there. And I wish I knew 7.5 years before that the way that you dealt with problems was that you don't. Because I'm a problem solver. And I struggle with this. And Jerry, you've been married 31 years, so I'm going to ask you this here. When you're dating, right? And your girl comes home or your guy comes home, whatever, and they tell you about a problem that they have in their life, right? Something with their mom or their dad or their brother or their sister or their boss, whoever. But they tell you about a problem in their life. And my reaction is, give me all the information about the problem that you have, and now let's go solve it. That's how I treat problems. Tell me everything that's going on in your life, and then I'm immediately going to start brainstorming on how to help you solve your problem so that you don't have to go through this problem. And I've had people tell me in dating, she's like, Dan, I just want you to shut up and listen. I want you to hear everything that's bothering me. I don't want you to tell me how to fix it. I want to tell you everything that I'm mad about. I want to tell you about all the things that frustrate me, and then I want to go to bed. And I'm like, but after you tell me everything that frustrates you, shouldn't we find a way for you to not be frustrated? See, I'm always caring about other people. I'm always like, if my mom tells me that like something went on at work, I'm like, okay, what happened? How can we deal with this? And sometimes I don't have the answer, but I always want to help. I always seek to help people. I don't understand how people can be like, I want to tell you all my problems, and I just want you to shut up and listen, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And I've talked to other women about it, and like, yeah, sometimes we just want to come home to our man, and we just want to tell you everything that's bothering us, and we just want you to listen. We don't want you to help us solve anything. We'll figure it out. And that's a really hard thing for me because I want to help people. Jerry said, leave a problem to fester and it will only become a disaster. Share, communicate, and support each other. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, Jerry. Like, Jerry, if you call me up and told me that you had a flat tire, I'm not going to go, okay, Jerry, I'm going to listen to you scream and rant and rave and throw tools on the pavement about your flat tire, and then I'm going to hang up with you. I'm going to be like, do you need me to come help you? Do you have a spare tire? Did you call AAA? What do you need from me? Like that. But I've literally been told by women that I was dating, like, how dare you ask me if I have a spare tire? How dare you come and help me? How dare you try to replace the tire? How dare you call AAA? And I'm using those as examples, but it was how dare you help me is what I'm trying to say in this analogy. How dare you help me? Why wouldn't I help you? So, you know, what do you do when people disagree with you? What do you do when you're in a conversation that seems like it's not going anywhere? I mean, I get sick to my stomach when I watch these videos of people on college campuses screaming at each other because they don't agree with each other. That's not how my college was. I am very happy that when I went to college, it wasn't as like wackadoo as it is right now. You know, and I love college, and I think that people should go. I miss it. I miss to this day being able to just open the door and there's like all these people that are the same age as me just hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, I miss those days where you could just open the door and be like, oh, there's all these people that are the same age as me going through similar stuff. Like, you were living in the world, but you were living in a world within the world. And I don't want people to have that go unnoticed or not appreciate that. Because there's something beautiful about being in college. And now I see people screaming at each other on these videos, and it just makes me sick to my stomach. You know? You don't benefit from screaming at people. I've done it. I've had it done to me. It doesn't work. Right? You get so amped up, you get so frustrated that you raise your voice, and then what happens? They go sit somewhere, you go sit somewhere, and that's it. And it sucks. You know? When they don't agree with you, I mean, you got to think about it. Is this relationship important enough to me? Is this conversation important enough to me? You know? My friend that I was talking about, the reason why I brought him up is that we would have these like deep conversations about all this like big stuff. And I loved the fact that I could have a conversation with him and I could hear him out and I could hear where he was coming from and that he would hear where I was coming from at times. I mean, obviously it wasn't always that way. It got to a point where he was trying to get me to be wrong every time I opened my mouth, and that got frustrating and annoying and ridiculous. But, you know, when we could have those conversations, I go back to one conversation we had, and we were walking by Nottingham, and we walked for like 2 hours. We just talked about stuff. And it was so much fun to like speak to somebody that didn't agree with you and learn from them, and then like have them learn from you, hopefully, you know? And I just remember that conversation as a conversation that showed me that you can be on two opposite sides of an argument and you can still be calm in the way that you talk. I didn't yell. I didn't get mad. I didn't call him names. I just spoke. And to me, it showed me that I had learned how to handle opposition. Now, it's an everyday thing, and I could tell you I did good in that conversation, but in other conversations, I feel like I could have been better. But I also had a conversation recently where somebody's on the opposite side, and they called me names. They accused me of things. We were talking about things that had nothing to do with me or them. We were talking about bigger picture stuff, and they decided to attack me personally during the conversation. And I went, okay, this is how you're going to try and win an argument, is you're going to attack the person that thinks differently than you. And the irony is, you don't support the person that you perceive attacks people, but you're attacking the person that's defending that person in this specific scenario. And what I've realized in having discussions with people about religion and politics, the things that they tell you not to talk about, when I've been having discussions with people about some things in today's world that didn't exist, you know, or existed in the shadows, or maybe weren't as prevalent. When I talk about these topics with these people, I have seen there's so much hypocrisy in the fact that I can calmly sit and talk to you and tell you my thoughts and my beliefs and seek to learn from you and seek to understand, while I'm hoping that you can seek to learn from me and understand from me as well. And then getting personally attacked by a person who told me that they hate people that personally attack people. Look in the mirror, honey. Look in the mirror, my dude. Like, it is amazing to me how much hypocrisy shows itself when you're in a disagreement. How dare you do that? Now I'm going to do it. And it's like, what? I had a person tell me before, you asking me if I cheated on you makes me want to cheat on you. Make that make sense. Right? If someone goes, Dan, you're a murderer, and I go, obviously I'm not, it doesn't make me want to murder people. Like, it's like, what? You know? I mean, Dan, you stole my heart. I'd be like, girl, now I want to go steal some jewelry. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't even make any logical sense. But people are having nonsensical disagreements in today's world because they're approaching the conversation saying, I'm going to believe what I believe no matter what you say. That's not how you can approach a discussion. You have to be open to not being right all the time. You have to be open to learning. You have to be open to understanding. Life is not about you being right all the time. And how dare you think you're going to be right all the time? You are a human being. Even if you were right every time but one time, you can't be right all the time. You're not God. You are not God. And to those of you that don't believe in God, hey, you have the freedom to do what you want to do. But I'll tell you this right now. There is something in your life that proves that God exists, and you know what I'm talking about. And if you dig deep and you think about your personal life, there's something you can't explain. With science, with nature, with randomness, with coincidence, you can't figure out how that happened, but it happened. And I'm just saying, even if you don't believe, it doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean he's not there. So, you know, Jerry said, I missed the students. I loved you guys. We love you too, Jerry. We love you too, man. Very much. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I would find it hard to not love you, Jerry. And, you know, I wish I came to you when I went through what I went through, Jerry. I wish I came to you when she did what she did. I wish I did. It's not a regret. I just wish I came to somebody. I did. I mean, when it got extremely bad, I called my mom. But I went, I mean, do you know how long I went thinking I wasn't a victim of domestic violence because I'm a man? And there's women to this day that'll scream in my face if I tell them that I was a victim because men can't be victims. But those women are crazy. And I don't look at all women because a select few are screaming in my face. And I don't look at all men because a select few. You know what I mean? Like, there are people out there that are seeking to... And the thing is, I mean, I always ask people, what is your end game? What if you won? So if women won and men were eradicated, you really want to live on a planet with all women and no men? That's going to get old quick. If men won and we're like, we don't need you, blah, 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 we get bored real quick. That's reality. That's reality. You know, we act like we want our side to win. Why are there sides? Why are there sides? We are human beings. Why do we disagree so much? There's people who should get a PhD and disagree. Why do we disagree so much? Why are you carrying around that much anger? Let it go. Bro, nobody wants to be around a negative person. Trust. Because when I've been negative, I can feel that energy from people like, God, this is all Dan talks about. I don't want to talk about it. Sorry I said God and not gosh. But, you know, Jerry said, man, are they in for a shock? I tell people this all the time. Believe in God, don't believe in God. When you find out God exists, I'm not going to be standing next to you going, uh-oh. So, you know what I mean? Do you really honestly think that everything is a coincidence? Even if you believe in evolution, there's a lot of things that have to perfectly happen for evolution to happen. And I'm not saying that I don't believe that things don't evolve, but if we evolved from orangutans, why are there still orangutans? Are they just human beings that got caught up? How come they didn't evolve? Like, we evolved from fish that flopped out of the water and then got legs? That don't make no sense. Why does a fish got legs? The fish in Onondaga Lake might have some legs, but I don't think all fish have legs. I'm just saying. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Top Dog of the Week. Curtis, if you're still here, the reason why I asked you to listen and watch is coming up in just a second. We'll take a step aside. This has been Lead. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. Stop yelling at each other. Just stop doing it. It ain't worth it. Nobody's got to be that mad. What you mad for? They say laughter is the best medicine. I'm 38 years old. They were right. Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McNerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Bryan and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees, and as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When When we first started the business in '07, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There was a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allow customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality. And I think on both of those fronts, Servomation has really, in large part, changed that value system for employees. So they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machines, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean to cup coffee machines. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I can tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to Servomation.com. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Appreciate you for being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And under promise, over deliver, right? We promise you 2 hours. And even though we've started a little bit late at certain times, and I apologize for that, we typically give you more than 2 hours a day. And the last 2 days, we've given you almost 4 hours. But I do what I love, and I love what I do, so I'm happy to do it. Curtis, I hope you're watching and listening. It's time for the top dog of the week. Let's go. Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. They're both in East Syracuse, and if you have a dog and you have to bring them somewhere for the day, a little daycare, right? You're like, I don't want to leave them home all day. They're going to be so bored. I care about them. I want them to have a good day. I wouldn't want to be home cooped up all day. So you bring them to the daycare on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, and it is right off of Bridge Street, 228 Old Bridge Street. You could see them from the road across from BJ's Wholesale Club, and as you're getting on the highway or coming off the highway, you could find them right there by Erie Boulevard, K9 Camp Dog Daycare. And for more information, you can call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110. And of course, you can also go to K-9 KAMP ground, or pardon me, KAMP.com. That's K-9 the number 9 kamp.com. I got ahead of myself. K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, where you can bring your dog for longer term care. If you got to drop them off for a few days, you're going on vacation, you're fumigating the house, renovating the house, taking your kid out somewhere, right? You got a tournament or a trip or whatever's going on, and you can, or maybe you're going to the hospital, you're having a baby, and you're like, oh man, someone's going to take care of the dog for the next few days because we're going to go have this baby. So K9 Kampground is the place to go for so many different reasons. For longer term care for your dog, there's a cabin that your dog will have. So they have their food in their own cabin, their bowl in their own cabin, so nobody's stealing their stuff. They got their bed in the cabin. Some of the dogs have TVs in their cabin because some dogs like to watch TV. So I know Shady up in heaven, sometimes she watched television. So you can go and see K9 Kampground by going to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, right down the road from K9 Camp Dog Daycare. And you can get more information by calling 315-299-4013, as well as going to the number 9, kampground.com for dog boarding, K9 Kampground. So with that being said, who is my top dog of the week? Well, this is why I kept telling them to listen. It's you, Curtis. Shout out to my guy, Curtis Tillman III. Why is he the top dog of the week? Well, because he is a caring, kind, compassionate, all the things we were talking about today. Don't be ashamed for being these people. Don't be ashamed for being this person. If you're a caring person, if you're a loving person, if you put trust in people, if you show love for people, don't be ashamed of it. Well, one of those people that's been good to me and kind to me and caring to me and trustworthy and compassionate and loving is Curtis. And he did something for me that I never expected. I'm not surprised because it came from Curtis and like his heart, but I never expected this. He got an easel that you can put a card on or a picture on. He had this easel made for me with the Wake Up Call logo and my company's overall logo. So you got the Wake Up Call logo here, the sun rising out of the coffee cup. And then you have the Dan Tortora Broadcast Media logo, which is the logo that is the umbrella to Wake Up Call and Super Powered Pop and Do Diz with Dan and Comic Book Trails and Two Mics No Filter and everything else we do. He got this made for me personally, and it's not even like I would have liked it if it was just a sticker. It's not even a sticker. If you look at it here, you could see it. It's raised out of it, so you can actually feel the logos here. And it's beautiful, and it's thick, and it's awesome. And I'm still trying to figure out what the heck I want to put, because I want you to see it at all times. So I have my card that Josh and Anthony got me from GG Cards and Breaks, that they made for me, I should say. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to put in this or on this for it to hold, but I mean, it's so cool. It's so nice. Honestly, Curtis, I just appreciate your time, man. To do something like this for me, it says a lot about you. And I said to him, he was like, hey, I want you to come over to the store. I'm going to GG Cards and Breaks. I have something for you. And I was like, all right. I said, I'll come over. It was last week. And I said, I'll come over. And it was last Friday, actually. It was last Friday. And I went over and he handed it to me. And I said, you didn't have to do that. He goes, just open it. He's like, just open it. And I opened it and I was like, why do you do that? And he was like, because I care about you. These are the things, to me, this could cost $1. It could cost nothing. You could have found it like a seashell on a beach and brushed it off and handed it to me. It's the thought that counts to me. And it's the things that I look at in my life, because I'm not a materialistic person. And people would say, well, Dan, you got a bunch of comic books and you got this and that. That's because I'm a big kid. Doesn't mean I'm materialistic. And I have things that have special meaning to me. And I would love it. I like my studio. I love my studio. Thank you, God, for my studio. I want you to be able to see the things that are off camera, though. I'm trying to figure out, I love my studio. How can I might have to do like a dual camera thing so I could do some stuff in here. So you could see some things that are off camera. But this won't be. And I just want to say thank you, Curtis. Because I don't want to say I've lost. I've had people in my life that I thought would always be here, and they left. I have trust that I put into people, and care that I put into people, and loyalty that I put into people, and love that I put into people, and I ultimately didn't get it back. And then I meet you through going to the eye doctor because I needed to get a new prescription of glasses. And I'm grateful to God that we purposely crossed paths. So this might be something little to you, Curtis, but it's big to me because it represents the fact that there are caring people, good people. And as much as I've been hurt, and as much as I was hurt last night by something, I want to believe in the goodness of people. And no matter how many people don't appreciate my loyalty and my respect and my care and my love and my trust and my trustworthiness, it doesn't mean that people like you won't. And it doesn't mean there's not good people like you out there. So I love you, buddy. And I just want to say thank you for thinking of me and doing something so nice and so heartfelt. So I just want you to know that. And I wanted to call you the top dog of the week because I know that you didn't do that for any accolades. I know you didn't do that to get mentioned on the show today. And I know that you didn't ask for anything in return. And it's those people that I love the most. So Curtis Tillman III, my top dog of the week. We'll be back momentarily for me to talk about some other stuff in the sports world. I have thoughts. We always have guests on the show, and I'm grateful to every guest we had. And I was thinking to myself, I got an opening on Friday after the top dog of the week. I could put another guest in there. And then I thought, Dan, you got stuff you want to talk about, so just talk about it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to fill that. Just go do what you love. So we're going to talk about some stuff when I come back. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Kampground.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. So happy to be here with you, hanging out. Just doing what I love, you know, just like living in this world of God is awesome and I get to live my dreams every day. And I've been doing that for over 20 years and he's like super cool. And he's like, hey, Dan, good morning. But he doesn't really say it like that. He's like, hey, he's like, good morning, man. What are we going to do today? How are you? Did you sleep? You didn't? Oh, well, have fun. You know what I mean? Like God is like, woo, let's go. Like, that's the God I know. People are like, God is angry. God is mad. Hey, listen, this world is friggin' upside down. If God was an angry God, we would have seen him hurling some fireballs over here, but he ain't doing that. So, because he loves us, even though we're a pain in the butt. God really is the true parent. It's like, I love my kids, but sometimes they're stupid. It's true. My mom and dad would say that about me. I love Daniel. Sometimes he's stupid. Sometimes I am. Sometimes, not that I'm stupid. It's like I know what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? But square peg, round hole, man. You know, you try to make something work, don't work. But I'm learning, and I'm getting better at it. I think my parents would say I'm getting better at some. I would hope so. Don't want to be staying in the same dang place. That's not good. What do you think, God? What do you think? We doing all right? So, but, yeah. So let's get into some stuff. Shohei Ohtani is insane, okay? I never wanted as a child to believe that aliens existed, and the more information that I get, the more it concerns me. Can we talk about something for a second here? Can we just have a moment with the fact that I don't know if it was a congressional hearing. It was like one of those C-SPAN looking, you know, not an interrogation or an investigation, but it was like one of those C-SPAN looking like back and forth. Like it looked like there was some committee and there was some dude talking and they were like, hey, are you said you have a ship. Yes. Is it human? No. Where did you find bodies? Yes. Were they human? No. Are you telling us you're in possession of alien technology and an alien body? And he was like, yeah. And then the news never talked about it again. What? What? I was concerned with that my entire childhood. I was like, oh my, I would pray to God, please, God, my aliens not exist. Because because of what we think they are, right? Because Hollywood's got to make them look all creepy and nasty. Let me tell you something. Go over and watch some people with some plastic surgery on. Aliens look a lot prettier. So, and I'm not talking about like, helping you, like if you got in a car accident and they're trying to make it all. I'm talking about these people that have those big old lips that you could land a plane on. Listen, all I'm saying to you is some people look like cartoons now. Some men and women out there, they don't look like real. Like, I feel like an alien would go, what happened to you? You know what I mean? Looking at you with the, and the thing is, I mean, I'm hoping that aliens don't look like, well, and by the way, I had a dream last night. I don't know why. I'm just remembering this right now. I'm not saying I don't know why I'm remembering this right. I don't know why I had the dream, but I dreamt about aliens, and I was with my dad in a mall, and there was alien stuff, and they call them the face huggers. First and foremost, if you've watched any of the alien movies, the face huggers are sexual. I'm not getting into it. It's gross. My comedy would be funny. I'm not getting into it. Maybe on stage someday. But everything looks a certain way, and it's just disgusting. But the face hugger stuff, it's so gross to me. Like, it's the one thing that I just can't. Like, make my hair stand. These stupid things, they look like spiders, and they don't look like they have they don't have eyes. How do they know where to run? And they just like run, and then they jump on your face, and then they suction to your face, and they put something down your throat. And it's just gross. And then they impregnate you through your throat, and they put the baby. It's just so I mean, if aliens are real, please. 1, I come in peace. 2, don't have face huggers. 3, I can't. I just can't. I can't, and I dreamt about it last night, and I don't know. I eluded them, thank God. But I don't understand it. But can we talk about that for a second? And I will get back to Shohei Ohtani, and I'll make it make sense, I promise. But can we get back to it for a second? Can we just talk about the fact that there was like this committee on like some Congress thing or something with the government, and they asked this guy, I don't know who he was. I was watching some video, and I was hoping the video was fake. And they were like, are you in possession of an alien ship? And he was like, yes. And there's like, are you in possession of bodies? Yes. Are they human beings? No. And I was like, what? And then nothing happened. Next news cycle. I could do a little bit less of hearing about Kamala and Trump because I've heard a lot. And can we talk about the fact that there's aliens? We found them? Like, these were all conspiracy theories. These were people that were considered nuts. They put the aluminum foil on their head and and talk to people and all that. And now you're telling me that these people were not crazy? You're telling me that these people, that the dude from Independence Day who was like, I told y'all, like that there's people in the world that were like, aliens been coming for us for a long time. They crashed into a mountain in Roswell. Area 51 is real. I grew up with people being considered lunatics for believing in this stuff. And then there's like this dude at this like congressional looking meeting thing, committee hearing, whatever. And he said, we got some alien ships. We got an alien technology. We got at least a ship. And we found aliens. We like, he literally proved that aliens exist and that they've been here. And then we never talked about it again. Nobody brought it up. Jerry, don't send me those, man. The emojis freak me out too. But like, what? This is why I don't, See, I told people I there's like a type of house that I want, and I want to live in the country. But I said I can't live in a place big enough for an alien to put one of their crop circle designs. I can't be out there like, this is how I think. Okay, this is my mentality. Where I live is not big enough. Like, I got a really nice yard, but it's not big enough for you to put a crop circle. So this is my thought. If they were real and they put the crop circles down and the crop circles were directions on where to land and what to do, I would have enough time because of where I live that, like, if they landed, it's not big enough in my backyard for them to make a crop circle, so they have to make it somewhere else, which is bigger, and those places are farther away from me, so I'd have at least 20 minutes. That's my mentality. I would have at least 20 minutes for Lily and I to find a really nice alien like E.T., and then we could ride a bike, and then all of a sudden be in the air, and when the aliens landed, we would be in the air, we'd be opposite. So when they land, we go up, so they don't know we're here. We get out. I try to think about hiding spots in my house. If the aliens are listening, what money? It's a Lil Wayne joke. If you don't know, then you don't know. And you know, Biggie said, if what did Biggie say? If you don't know, now you know. I don't want the aliens to know, but just some creepy stuff, man. Weird. But why does this connect to Shohei Ohtani? He's not human. Dude is not a human being. He's not. He's going to win the MVP in the National League. He won the MVP in the American League. Who wins an MVP in general, let alone in both leagues? Who wins it when he was winning it before because dude's an alien and he pitches and he hits the ball really well, and now he's in a place where he's hitting the ball but he's not pitching, but he's still an MVP caliber guy. And I said yesterday, did I not say yesterday? You can fact check me. I'm pretty confident that I said yesterday that he could do it in one game. And what did Jerry say? When you walk through hell, keep walking. Hey, there's a really good song by one of my favorite country singers, Rodney Atkins, and he says, when you're going through hell, keep on going, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it, because you might get out before the devil even knows you're there. So, good song. Curtis, thank you for my message. Said, much love, DT. Much love to you, man. Hey, I know you don't do it for any other reason than you have a good heart, and people like you got to keep close in this world, and we've all been hurt, me included, so when you meet a good person like yourself, Curtis, sometimes it's hard to believe that there's loyal, good, kind, trustworthy, loving, caring people because you thought that there was and those people didn't end up being. But it's not your fault that those people weren't, and it's not my fault if you had that in your life. So my hope is that you can see the beauty in each other, and I definitely see the good heart in you, Curtis, and I love it and I appreciate it, and I'm happy that God crossed our paths because I'm definitely blessed to have you in my life, so I want to tell you that. But Shohei Ohtani's not a human being. He's just not. He's not a human being. That's why I brought up the alien stories and the face huggers. It's so gross. And why do they have to get more graphic with it? Like, have like the thing that goes in your throat flapping around your throat. I can't. I just can't. I can't. I won't see the movie. I won't see them. I won't see them. I can't. I can't watch. I watched Prometheus, okay? I watched the Alien Prometheus movie, and the ending of that movie where like the clear-looking weird human, but it wasn't a human, and like they're fighting with the thing becoming the alien, and it's like hitting, and they're like fighting each other in like the doctor chair, and it's like one's losing its life and just watching this thing fight for its life, and it's hitting until it doesn't hit anymore. I don't like seeing the life go out of somebody and then the alien evolve. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the alien evolve. It's just disturbing. And why did I dream about it last night? Why? I feel like God's like, because you ate chicken wings before you went to bed. I feel like Jerry said he's loving it. Jerry, listen, it's funny, but it's gross, right? It's fun. It's like my comedy. My comedy's funny. Sometimes it's gross, but it's real. My comedy is real, okay? It's real. It's so real that you would have thought somebody lived it. You know what I think is interesting is the people that know me, when I tell you like what's happened in my life and I talk about like really dark things, but I make them funny, you know, I feel like people are going, it wasn't that bad. No, it was that bad. Like people will look at you and they'll be like I look forward to the day, I look forward to the day that someone's in the crowd and they're like, that stuff was hilarious, but there's no way that happened that way to Dan. He probably embellished. And then one of my friends is like in the audience and overhears you and turns and looks at the person and goes, no, in all honesty, he probably held back a little. Like, no, all that stuff happened to him. It happened. We were there. He called me. Like, if anything, dude was nice. So, and I don't say people's names. You know what I mean? I had a woman tell me one time, she's like, you attacked me on your show. And I was like, I didn't even say your name. How do you know that you're the only crazy person that I know? Selfish. Like, you're so vain, you probably think this song is about you. You heard me talk about a negative experience with a woman and you thought it was you? Man, that's a guilty conscience. If I heard some woman talk about a negative man, I wouldn't be sitting here going, well, it's probably me. My mom was like, yeah, but you talked about like specific thing. I was like, I didn't say nobody's name though. How dare she think she's the only crazy person out there? So vain. So vain. But anyways, Shohei Ohtani is not a human being. He's going to win the National League MVP or I'll riot. I'm kidding. So I only said that because everybody, what is this thing now? What is a peaceful protest when you loot a place? What is a peaceful protest when you set something on fire? What is a peaceful protest when you deface and like tear apart someone's business or home? Or you flip a car? Or you set a dumpster on fire? That's not a peaceful protest. Anything that involves looting, violence, breaking things or setting things on fire is no longer allowed to be called a peaceful protest. So it was a joke when I said I would riot. The reality is Shohei Ohtani should be the MVP. Like, I'm 38 years old, man, you know, and my parents would be like, who do you want at your birthday party? And you'd be like a clown and whatever, you know, it's like, who do you want at your birthday party? I want Shohei Ohtani at my birthday party. Can Shohei Ohtani come? Like, I want to meet an alien that's peaceful. He seems peaceful, you know. Maybe it'll change my thoughts on aliens. Maybe it'll change my thoughts on aliens if I get to meet one who is just really, really good at baseball. Who knew that aliens were so good at baseball? They're so good. But I mean, and I hope Shohei doesn't take any offense to this because it's a massive compliment. What I'm telling you is you're not human. Like human beings don't do this. Pitchers suck at hitting most of the time. Like, I remember, I'm an Arizona Diamondback fan, and Randy Johnson, when I used to play the baseball game, it was like MLB 99 or whatever the heck it was. Randy Johnson's batting average on the game was 197. He was so bad. If I hit the ball, number one, if I hit the ball as Randy Johnson, that was a win. If I hit it farther than 4 feet, that was a bigger win. Pitchers don't typically hit the ball well. And in my lifetime, I've seen Jacob deGrom do it, and I've seen Shohei Ohtani do it. Do we remember that Shohei Ohtani is going through rehab? That he had surgery? That he was injured? Like, are we realizing the fact that this dude is only half of the player that we're typically used to seeing? Because he's usually pitching and hitting. Like, who can stand on a mound and strike out your best hitter and then go bang a home run on offense? Nobody. Aliens. So what I think needed to be truthful about the congressional hearing when this dude said, I found a ship and I found alien bodies. I think what he really needed to tell us was, I met Shohei Ohtani that day and I let him go because he was really sweet. And then I can be at peace with the fact that you said you found aliens, because if I know it's Shohei, then I'm okay. Because Shohei, if you are from another planet, thank you for coming to ours. 50 home runs. This is in his rehab getting back to health season. This is his I'm not pitching this year because I'm in this regimen of rehab where I can hit, but I can't pitch yet. His body is healing, and he just hit 50 home runs in a season, going through rehab after surgery, and then stole 50 bases. Who is Shohei Ohtani? Man is crazy. But like, the good crazy. The really good. Jerry, stop sending me aliens, man. It scares me. I thought we were friends, Jerry. Stop. It's freaking me out. I was just kidding. But for real. Like Shohei Ohtani. And I did check the tape on what I said. Because I think yesterday when I was talking to Papa Joe, I said Shohei Ohtani is 2 home runs away from hitting 50. He could probably hit them both in one game. And then he did it. I said it yesterday morning, and he did it yesterday night. Crazy. Dude is bonkers. He's not a human being. He's not. I don't believe you if you tell me that he is. He's not. And I mean that with only it's only complimentary. It's complimentary, my dear Watson. The Dodgers beat the Marlins on the road yesterday, 20-4. Shohei Ohtani was 6 for 6 batting. He hit 3 home runs. And he had 10 RBIs. 4 runs himself, 10 RBIs. He batted in 10 runs. He accounted for half of the runs that a team batted in. And you would say, well, Dan, in a 4-2 game, somebody accounted for 2, so that's not crazy. No, it is crazy when you talk about it being 10 and the team scored 20 runs. They scored more points than Georgia or Kentucky in the SEC football game last week. Remember how I said Georgia and Kentucky played a baseball game and Georgia won 13-12? Shohei Ohtani played a football game and he helped his team win 20-4. Dude's not human. I don't care what you say. And I mean that with all the best compliments in the world. He is absolutely insane. And I love watching him play baseball. He's so good. It's unfair. Honestly, it's unfair. It's unfair, Shohei. But keep doing it because it's amazing. And this is what I don't understand. I have a graded SGC 9.5 out of 10 grade on a Shohei Ohtani rookie card. And you look them up online and they're like $48. I was like, no, I'm not. How is it that's ridiculous? A Shohei Ohtani rookie card? Get out of here. Get out of here. I want to tell you his stats from I told you some of his stats, but I want to make sure I don't miss one of the things that I was going to say. Did I not put it up here? Oh, no, I did. So, I'm going to tell you Shohei Ohtani last night. I told you most of it. I tried to do it without looking. So, he went 6 for 6, 4 runs, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. The only thing I didn't tell you was that his batting average was .294. He's not a human being. And if he's the alien body that guy was talking about at the congressional committee, whatever the heck that was thing, then I feel safer now. knowing that aliens can hit home runs and don't suction your face. Because that's gross. In the NFL, I want to get to this. What a transition. So they don't suction your face. Aaron Rodgers. But okay. Well, this is how I make the connection. If Shohei Ohtani's an alien, Aaron Rodgers went and stayed in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, allegedly. And so both of those things sound like scary movies. Aaron Rodgers, the statistic going into week 2 was that Aaron Rodgers had never started a season 0-2 ever in his career. And he didn't do it this season either. A 40-year-old man who got knocked out of the season in the first game last year in his first season with the Jets comes in this season. They lose their first game at San Fran on Monday Night Football. And then they went on the road at Tennessee. So he's never started a season 0-2 ever in the history of his time in the NFL, which is insane. And now they're 2-1. Now, I argued on paper that the New York Jets, if everybody stays healthy, including Aaron Rodgers, they're an 11 to 12 win regular season team this year in the NFL. They won last night 24-3. And I want to thank the Jets for what they did because I have their defense. And they gave their defense and special teams. And the fact that they held them to 3 points, the Patriots, gave me a lot of points. I want to see how many points I have. I have 20. So that actually works out in my favor because I had 21. And then they scored a field goal and I was like, crap. But then I ended up with 20. So I only lost 1 point. I can live with that. The New York Jets won at home. It's their first game at home. They were at San Fran and at Tennessee. First home game, MetLife Stadium. And they won 24-3. They scored a touchdown in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and then a field goal in the fourth quarter. So they got points in every single quarter, and they beat the Patriots by 3 touchdowns. The Patriots' only field goal came before halftime. That was their only points. Aaron Rodgers went 27 of 35, 281 yards, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Braylon Allen had 11 carries for 55 yards. So the saga continues of using him and Breece Hall together. Breece, which I think is going to work out for the team in reality. Hopefully it works out for y'all in fantasy too. Braylon Allen had 11 carries, 55 yards, 5 yards a carry. Breece Hall had 16 carries, 54 yards, 3.4 yards a carry, and a rushing touchdown. Breece Hall caught 4 out of the 5 passes thrown his way for 29 yards. Braylon Allen caught all 3 passes thrown his way for 13 yards. So if you got some PPR, that's helping you out too. And I said it would be nice if the Jets tight ends could wake up. And guess what? After I said that going into the game to a Jets fan at GG Cards and Breaks trade night on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York last night, I said it to a Jets fan. I said it would be nice. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't say it to a Jets fan. I did talk to a Jets fan after. I said it to somebody else. And I was talking to him about the game and we were talking about a bunch of different things. And I said, the tight end's got to step up. And Tyler Conklin led the way. So I said that last night going into the game. Tyler Conklin didn't disappoint. 6 targets, caught 5. He led the team with 93 yards. He also tied Garrett Wilson for the most receptions last night with 5 for the Jets. Tyler Conklin, the tight end, had 93 yards to lead the way. Alan Lazard had a touchdown. He caught all 3 passes thrown his way. Garrett Wilson had a touchdown, targeted 9 times more than anybody else, caught 5 of those. And Jeremy Ruckert also caught 2, both thrown his way. Xavier Gibson caught both thrown his way. And Mike Williams caught 3 out of the 4 thrown his way. So a lot of different guys getting involved. 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, and a bunch of receivers for Aaron Rodgers. And they get their second win of the season. They've started off the season 2-1. And the New England Patriots are 1-2 in the same division as the Jets in the AFC East. And Drake, he got himself out there. If you're wondering why I just did that, no, I didn't just have an episode of some type of weird thing that just happened to me. When I do that, that is Soulja Boy, because apparently he went on, well, not apparently, he went on a radio show, and apparently he had an issue with Drake. And so when they asked him about Drake, he went, Drake! So that's why I do that way. Drake May got in the game, even though Jacoby Brissett has been named the starter going into the season. Drake May got in for 8 passes. He completed 50%, 4 of 8 for the rookie, 22 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Jacoby Brissett was sacked 5 times by the Jets. Drake May was sacked twice, which means in one game alone, the New York Jets sacked the Patriots 7 times, and I get a point for every sack. Let's freaking go. And then when you look at the fumbles here, Chuck Clark recovered a fumble from the Patriots. I got a point for that. So a lot of good stuff happening. And then I don't think there was no interceptions, right? No. So there was no interceptions by either quarterbacks, pardon me, because Jacoby and Drake were both out there for the Patriots. So yeah, thank you to my defense of the Jets that helped me start off this week in fantasy football with 20 points. I was like, because I was thinking, I'm like, do I have any Jets? Because I forgot to set my lineup. And I was like, and you have to set it before each game. So like, I have the whole rest of the week. I mean, I have like, it doesn't lock in for Sunday or anything like that. Like, it's by game. So I was like, I know I don't have any Patriots except for Jalen Polk on one of the teams. He's like my 6th wide receiver or something like that. So I was like, do I have any Jets? And then when I saw I had points, I'm like, who the heck did I play? And I knew I had the Jets defense in one of my leagues. I forgot that I had it in 2 of my leagues. And yeah, I started off the game with 21 points and I ended the game with 20 points. So shout out to that. I'll take 20 points from my defense and special teams. Shout out to Ahmad Sauce Gardner, who I covered for years at Cincinnati. And I got a bunch of his cards, including, is it in here? Yes, it is. Including this card that people kept making me offers on. So I had to take it out of my case because I don't want to sell it. Great American RPA, rookie card of Ahmad Sauce Gardner with his green patch, his autograph, and it's numbered to 99. 71 of 99 in the world. And I got a ton of offers on this, and I realized that I don't want to sell it, so now it doesn't go on my case. And then I have a really cool refractor auto of him as well, so keeping it saucy here on Wake Up Call. I got a couple more things to get to. I'll do it right after this fast break where sports meets life here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, Carvelanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Gray Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, located on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop shop for everything you need when it comes to sports cards and trading cards. There is nothing like GG Cards and Breaks, and that's why I love working with them, because they truly just are a special group of hardworking people that genuinely care about people, and it means a lot to me. You see that, and you see it in the eyes. And you see it in the reactions, and you see it in the smiles, and you see it in the fun. I mean, they collect cards too. It's not just a place. You know how you go into some places and it's just a business, right? They're just looking for the bottom line. We're just selling stuff. We're just selling stuff. We're just selling stuff. And that's it. And it's not this, we care about it. We buy it too. We love it. We get involved with it. We're big kids. Like, I love that. When people have a passion for something, you want to help them more. When people care about something, you want to help them more. When people treat you like you matter, you want to help them more. And people work with who they want to work with, that they feel comfortable with and they enjoy being around. People work with people that they like. People go and support people that they like. And that's why it's easy for me to support GG Cards and Breaks. I love sports cards, and I went through years of just buying them from faceless, nameless people, right? You go into a department store and you find stuff and you buy it and you hope you get something good. Well, when I go to GG Cards and Breaks, I'm buying from people I like. I'm buying from people that I trust. I'm buying from people that I don't believe are ever going to be dishonest with me. And I know that they work really hard. So when it comes to character and it comes to values, and it comes to morality, and it comes to people that you can joke with and have fun with and be yourself with, I love collecting sports cards. And I love the guys. So that's what makes it easy. GG Cards and Breaks. If I got $6 in my pocket, I'll find out how to give them 10. Because I appreciate them. So, and you go where you're appreciated. So I implore you to head out to GG Cards and Breaks and see what I'm talking about. 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. They have packs, they have boxes, graded cards, singles. They have autograph cards, patch cards, RPAs, the Ricky Patch Auto. They have numbered cards. Sometimes they have 101 cards. They have cards I've never seen before. They are always getting in new inventory. You never know what's coming next. And on top of having basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, and so on and so forth in the sports world, they also have Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and Magic the Gathering while supplies last. It is a one-stop, and they have all the things you need to protect your cards, your sleeves, your top loaders, your boxes, your binders, your one-touch cases, literally everything. You can walk in there, know nothing about sports cards, nothing about trading cards, nothing that you need. You don't know anything about top loaders and different sizes, and you'll walk out of there with a box to open, a couple singles of cards that you really wanted, and all of the supplies that you could protect your cards in. And now all of a sudden, no matter what your age is, you're a big kid just out there having fun. Head to GG Cards and Breaks today and see what I'm talking about. Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays, 10 to 5, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life, we got a couple things to get into here. It is game day, which I am so excited about, because some teams never get a Friday night college football game. Some people never get to see a Friday night college football game in their hometown. But tonight, we do. Tonight is on. And I'm excited. And I can't wait, because I get to do it with one of my best friends. I get to do it with my brother Isaac. So that means a lot to me. I can't wait to see him, because we're big kids. I can't wait to laugh with him. And I can't wait to walk up the hill with him and get my cardio on. I also can't wait to see Syracuse play a game that they've never played before, and Stanford play a game that they've never played before, because they've never played each other. And Stanford's never had an ACC game as a member. So tonight's history for Stanford, tonight's history for Syracuse and Stanford playing each other, and tonight's history because it's the 44-year anniversary of the original opening of the Dome. And the number 44 has a ton of significance to Syracuse as the most recognized number in Syracuse football history, worn by Rob Conrad, as well as Floyd Little, Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, so on and so forth. So it's going to be a big night, and I'm really excited for it. To me, it's like a premiere night. Like, I want the carpet to be rolled out. You know, you don't want to, like, I do. I feel like when you have a Friday night football game in your hometown and you're excited for it, and I get to do what I love and love what I do, I feel like tonight I'm going to see like a premiere of like this big movie at like an old theater. That's what it feels like to me. So I can't wait to go out and have fun. Really looking forward to it. Just want to make a note about that. And speaking about rolling out the carpet, well, you got to roll out the green carpet or the gold carpet, because it is called the Gold Wave. The LeMoyne Dolphins Hall of Fame is doing their honor ceremony. I have been to every single one of the past few years since my company became the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of the LeMoyne College Dolphins. I've been at their Gold Wave Hall of Fame events, and their Gold Wave Hall of Fame event is happening this Saturday, September 21st, 10 a.m. to noon, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very much looking forward to it. So it's going to be awesome. The class is going to have Lawrence Ekperigan of 2010. Men's basketball is going in the Hall of Fame. Erica Jeremiah of 2016. Women's lacrosse is going into the Hall of Fame. Tom Bonus, the men's soccer head coach of over 2 decades, is going into the Hall of Fame. And the 1981 baseball team is going into the Hall of Fame at LeMoyne, which they call their Gold Wave, and I'll be there. So I just want to give a shout out to Lawrence and Erica and Tom and the 1981 baseball team and let you know that I'm going to be there. Yamo be there, and I can't wait. So it's going to be some fun. Jerry said Stanford versus Syracuse spread, orange minus 8.5. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, that's what, touchdown and a field goal? Ish. So not even. And I have Syracuse winning by 15, which is 2 touchdowns. So they got a couple scores. I got a couple more than that. So I think the spread will be covered in that case. So I'm not a betting man, you know. Like, I do fun stuff, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited that there's a Friday night Syracuse football game, because that means tomorrow I can watch college football all day long and not have to go anywhere. And, well, outside of the fact that I'm going to go to LeMoyne for the Gold Wave. So the fact that Syracuse football is tonight and then the Gold Wave is tomorrow morning and it ends before any of the college football games starts is like the perfect opportunity to do everything I want to do. I get to go to the football game at the Dome tonight. I get to go to the LeMoyne Gold Wave ceremony tomorrow. And then I get to watch college football for the rest of the day with my puppy. Because God is great. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You're hanging out with me here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports truly meets that thing called life. On youtube.com /wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, as well as on facebook.com /wakeupcalldt. So however you're connected to us, thank you so much for tuning in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. And of course, it's well past 11, and we do that all the time. I told my mom, I said, I'm going to do 9 a.m. to noon, and she said, you can't. She goes, if you say you're going to be 9 a.m. to noon, then you're going to end at 1 o'clock. So just keep it like it is, because, I mean, she's right. She's like, you say 9 to 11 and you go to almost noon. So if you say 9 to noon, then you're going to go to 1, because whatever you say you're going to do more. But that's a good reputation to have. What I can do is make sure that we're right here at 9 a.m. for you. I can do a better job at that. So from here on out, you have my word and my promise that I will, because we got to live by our word. That's important to me. Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you got to do to find us is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT, and you'll find us on any one of these channels. When you find us, make sure that you follow, subscribe, whatever it says. It is free to do. You'd be crazy not to do it because the archive updates itself and you get all of our shows there for you at all times, wherever you are, anywhere in the world, when you're up in the air, whatever's going on, you got us. And that's a really awesome thing, is that we can literally be anywhere and everywhere. We're on your desktop, we're on your tablet, we're on your phone. You plug us into the car, we're in the car with you. You're listening to us like it's traditional radio. I mean, you can get Wake Up Call anywhere and everywhere because these channels have been so gracious to welcome us. So definitely make sure that you download by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or Wake Up Call DT on your favorite platform. Big time thanks to our incredible partners in Central and Upstate New York: Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, Brian's Landing, GG Cards and Breaks, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, Great Lakes Honda City, Pizza Man, Servomation, reimagining and reinvigorating what it means to have vending. Listen, when I thought about vending growing up, I was like, I'm not getting the sandwiches there. Then I went and toured Servomation's kitchen, which is massive. It's bigger than kitchens at restaurants. And then I looked at the stuff that they have, that they put in their vending machines. A lot better than the tuna salad or the chicken salad sandwiches that were like your only choices back in the day. They have a ton of different things. They have snacks I didn't even think of. Genuinely. And the technology and the opportunities. Servomation's awesome. Go to servomation.com and find out what I'm talking about. Mother's Cupboard. Cuse McMother. Go there today. It's game day. Go get a Cuse McMother, bacon, egg, and cheese. Inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Cut it up and eat it with syrup. Pick it up and have it like a sandwich. And of course, at Carvel DeWitt, you can get My Sunday, which connects back to LeMoyne. And I'm going to tell the LeMoyne coaches this one more time. When you have a recruiting visit on campus, what schools in America have their own Sunday connection? And it's right down the street. The DT Dolphin. Mint chocolate chip, green for the Dolphins. Hot fudge, whipped cream and a cherry. Green and gold sprinkles and a chocolate dolphin jumping onto your whipped cream. What a perfect way to end a recruiting visit. Bring the kid and their family to go get a DT Dolphin. Set it up and hit that out of the park, baby. Big time thanks to the Brooklyn Pickle down in North Carolina at Southern Pines, right by Pinehurst Golf Courses, another partner of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. That's the one
Will you hear the voice like this?
So make sure you go out and see them when you're down in North Carolina. And for those of you that are in North Carolina right now, 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina, just a few minutes from Pinehurst Golf Courses. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your LeMoyne College Dolphins. It is fins up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I can't wait to always bring you new conversations with the Dolphins. You could find everything over 3+ years of being their exclusive partner by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe and hit the notification bell. Student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni have all been on the broadcasts, and we dive into those stories every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time worldwide, exclusively on Wake Up Call. youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find the LeMoyne playlist, and of course you can find the Dolphins on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage underneath the exclusive partners tab as well. And for more information, you can go to LeMoyneDolphins.com. Shout out to our Hall of Fame inductees this weekend, and I can't wait to share those videos with you coming up soon. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats in what we call the Bobcat Buzz every single month. Men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and esports, all here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, doing things differently. They're a diamond in the rough, and so them being a diamond and them sticking out to me in a special way, we want to do Bobcat Buzz episodes that are different, unique, and stick out to you in a special way. So we've played Jenga with the coaches. We've played gestures with the coaches. We've done something recently on the pitch where I didn't just interview the soccer team, but we went on the field during practice and spoke with them. A lot of great stuff with the Bobcats. You can find them on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe and hit the notification bell. And of course, you can find the BSC Syracuse playlist on the YouTube channel. You can also find the Bobcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. They got games coming up this weekend too. I want to give a shout out to the soccer team. So want to let you know, shout out to my guy Nolan for sending this over. The men's soccer team for the Bobcats had to play Bryan and Stratton College of Albany, and so Syracuse is 2-0, Albany is 0-2-2, and that game is going to be on the road tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll be sharing the links on social media on how you can watch these games. And then the women's soccer team for Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse is going to Hilbert College. Syracuse is 0-2 on the women's side. Hilbert is 0-5, so both teams looking for their first victory. And that game is going to also be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow on September 21st. So I look forward to y'all checking those out, and I will share the links tomorrow morning for you to watch the games. So big shout out to them. I hope the men stay undefeated, and I'm looking forward to the women getting their first victory here. They've had to go through an injury early on, which has been tough. So hopefully they will find a way to band together and prove that the sum of all the parts is greater than just one piece. You know, we want to have everybody there and everybody healthy, but I know that they can band together, right? If you believe in each other, you can accomplish anything. So I look forward to seeing them do that. Bobcats this weekend, men's and women's soccer. God bless, and go Bobcats. What it is, what it be, what it do, the Binghamton Bearcats, they are doing some awesome things. They just had an Olympian in the Paris Olympics. Incredible. And on top of having Emily there, men's soccer, out there doing awesome things. Women's soccer, out there doing awesome things. Women's volleyball, out there doing awesome things. It has been an awesome start to fall sports at Binghamton University, and you can catch my stories with the Bearcats exclusively during Bearcat Time every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Wake Up Call Worldwide with student-athletes, coaches, and administration in the Bearcat break room, and throughout the year, Moments with Marshall featuring Gene Marshall, Athletics Director of Binghamton University. You can find all this by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. And you can click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the Binghamton playlist. You can also find your Bearcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to bubearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, I want to thank Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Don't you love when these things have a mind of their own? So I hit the wrong button. That was my fault. But, you know, listen, it's Hall of Fame weekend for LeMoyne, so why not give him a little more time here on the show? Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. Top Dog of the Week, Curtis Tillman III, proudly presented with his great heart. Presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding with the great hearts of Lorraine, Chad, and the team at Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And, of course, we talked about Major League Baseball, the NFL, Syracuse, and LeMoyne. I look forward to seeing you all at the Dome and hopefully seeing you at the Gold Wave event. And I just hope you're all doing well, man. So be safe, stay safe, be kind, treat people the way that you want to be treated, be good to each other, and don't ever knock yourself for having loyalty and love and respect and care and kindness and being trustworthy and trusting others. It is never your problem when you do the right thing and it's not done back to you. So don't beat yourself up on loving as much as you do, trusting and being a good person. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, deliver, grow, and seek to just be a better person every single day. You got this, and you're going to be okay. I love you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and God bless. No stress. Do your best.